Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Coffee and Conversation. We have Mo Vazquez with us this morning, the founder and CEO of Pipsticks. And we'll do an introduction to Mo after we go through our admin slides real quick. Next slide, please. So we are the Cal Poly CIE Small Business Development Center, the SBDC. We provide one-on-one, no-cost business consulting to business owners, startups, entrepreneurs, anyone from the San Luis Obispo County region. Don't hesitate to connect with us if you're thinking of launching a new business, or if you have a business and you're trying to achieve specific goals. We're here to help you. We have about 38 consultants on board that can help with any facets of your business. Next slide, please. We're funded by the SBA, by the state, by the GoBiz office. We're also supported by the county, by the city of SLO, and by Cal Poly. Next slide. We're going to show a very brief video of our key sponsor, Maynard Cooper, and it's just less than a minute. So stay with us. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jamal Al-Haj, and I'm a partner with Maynard Cooper & Gale in the firm's San Francisco office. Maynard Cooper is a full-service law firm of national reach with over 300 lawyers across 11 offices coast to coast. Our San Francisco practice focuses on advising emerging growth companies and venture capital firms, including with respect to equity management, financings, employment, and intellectual property matters. We are extremely proud to be a Founders Circle sponsor amongst an extraordinary circle of other dedicated philanthropists who recognize the immense value that Cal Poly's Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship bring to the SLO community. We hope that each of you enjoys this upcoming training and workshop and are able to incorporate the knowledge and know-how that will be presented shortly to further help grow, develop, and accelerate your businesses.
Thank you to our sponsor, Maynard Cooper. They do business transactional work. So Mo, we are so happy to have you with us. Good morning.
Thanks. Good morning.
So as mentioned, Mo is the founder, CEO of Pipsticks, and it's a company that has gone through a lot of growth in the last, I would say, how long has it been? 10 years?
No, we're going on 7 this year.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
I
So from a very small, fun, hobby type business at the very, 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 very start,
yeah,
to pretty much just
world sticker domination.
Yes, exactly.
That's where we're going. Yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth. But we're going to share your slides, and just, Pipsticks is based out of San Luis Obispo. And I'll let you share all the iterations of all the, basically what you're sharing today are all the different business models of how you can run your business.
That's
and you've
right.
gotten to a point where you've adopted all the business models and you've turned into an empire. So
Yeah, pretty much.
We're excited to hear where you're at, especially how you navigated COVID, because you made some amazing decisions during that time that really put you in a great place. So
Yeah.
good morning, Mo. Great to have you. And feel free to share your screen and start when you're ready.
Okay, fantastic. I'll share some slides that I have. As Judy said, we are a very diversified business, which, I would say has been our fault up until COVID, and then it proved exceptionally helpful and useful. So I'll give everybody a little bit of background of our business and how we get this. Let's see. Let me know if you can see. Yep, we're good. Okay. Well, as I said, my name is Mo Vazquez, and I built Pipsticks because I had the idea that life is happier with stickers. And whether you're a sticker lover or not, I'm pretty sure I can convince you by the end of our talk that life is most definitely happier with stickers. So Pipsticks was a passion project that kind of turned into what I like to think of as a sticker revolution. I am a designer, a graphic designer. I'm a mother of 4 small children. And most importantly, as it pertains to Pipsticks and the Pipsticks, story is I'm a child of the 80s. So I imagine there are a few people maybe in my generation on the call, and you might remember your own sticker collection. But I, as an adult, remembered very little as fondly as I did my sticker collection. And I was living in New York. We were based there for my husband Nathan's job. He was in finance. He was an options trader. And I had actually left my job as a brand manager for an international law firm to have kids. And we were living in New York. I had 3 kids at the time who were 1, 2, and 3 years old. And I really, at that point living in New York, I could never find enough stickers for my children. And I never had enough time for myself. So between those 2 things, I just kind of started to remember what I enjoyed as kids. And I remember my obsession over my childhood sticker collection. So I started Pipsticks really with kids in mind to make it easier for parents to access stickers, which we all know is like the magic bullet. Kids will do anything for a sticker. So I launched Pipsticks as a monthly subscription club where I always say we at the beginning, which is hilarious because it was just me in all the hats for a long time. But I curated these monthly sticker packs, sourcing stickers from around the world. In 2016, I convinced Nathan, my husband, to leave the financial world and leave the trading desk and join me in building our sticker empire. So he joined me right at the time when I really couldn't afford to hire somebody and I really needed somebody. And I went into working on the business full time at that point as well. So we moved at that point. We'd gone New York to London in that year, and we'd had another child. So it was definitely the perfect storm of, I don't know, our late 30s. And I convinced Nathan to join me. And so we went all in on the business, making it a family business, and we moved to San Luis Obispo. I went to Cal Poly, and so that's how I was familiar with the area. Within 2 years of us both going all in, we had thousands of subscribers in over 50 countries. And the thing that was very interesting is we realized quickly that our target audience was much broader than we initially thought. So as I said, we set out to make this product for kids, and about 6 months in realized that lots of adults were subscribing. So we added what we call our Pro Club. So every month now we have a sticker pack that goes out for our kids club, and we have a sticker pack that goes out for our Pro Club. And as soon as we identified that adults were really loving stickers, we kind of changed our marketing direction, and that's when our business really took off. So as I said, kids are our market. Kids will always love stickers there. And luckily there were always more kids in the market. So it makes it so, stickers are very much a consumable for kids, and that's great. But in addition to kids, we found that snail mailers, so people who are using stickers on their mail and pen pals were big for us, and big subscribers. And then there's this thing, I don't know if any of you use paper planners, but I fell down the rabbit hole of the planner addict hashtag about 6 years ago, and it changed my life. I mean, there are many, primarily women, investing a ton of money on craft supplies to use for their planner. They connect online. They have a really strong social presence online. And so that was a market that we really tapped into. And then over the last few years, is the rise of the Visco girl. If you haven't heard of that phrase, it's, tween teen girls. However, this really extends across all genders, and really covers the market between, I would say, tweens to, early 20-somethings who are putting stickers on everything, on their water bottles, on their computers, on their laptops, on their faces for, their new social media videos. So we had a much broader market than we initially imagined. We moved our operations to San Luis Obispo, as I said. Here is where we've been operating ever since. So we have our offices, we have our staff here, we have a design team, and we opened a brick and mortar shop in 2017. We are very much still a family business. So here are some sneak peeks behind the scenes. As I said, when I launched, when we moved to San Luis Obispo, we had 4 kids ages 5 and under. So we have like the perfect, test audience for our product. We opened our shop down on Monterey Street, down by what used to be Ruby Rose, or Slow Pro. We painted the outside rainbow colors, and really, we ended up moving into this location for our fulfillment space and our office space, but it was zoned for retail. So we opened a shop, which was a super fun project because I kept hearing from more and more people that found out the business that I was in. Everybody would have a story about, oh, they remember walking to their local gift store and looking at stickers on the roll and, choosing it and having it be this real big part of their childhood. And I realized that, there just aren't stationery stores anymore. So we created this like magical place where, people would walk in and sticker lovers or stationery lovers would just, lose their shit as soon as they walked in the door. It was incredible. There were rainbows and sparkles and sunshine, and it was really, really fun. That said, it was not a huge, generator for revenue, but it was great for marketing and for brand building and for really establishing our brand. In 2018, we had a real pivot, I would say, to our business, because up until that point, we were curating all of our sticker packs, and our sticker club was our only business. So I was sourcing stickers from all of the suppliers around the world, but I'd really kind of exhausted a lot of their catalogs, and I had a huge direct line to the customer that we were selling to, and they were telling me, stickers that they wanted or that they couldn't find on the market. And obviously, as a graphic designer, I had lots of ideas for stickers that we wanted to do as well. In 2018, we were approached by WORKMAN Publishing in New York. They are the biggest seller and distributor of calendars, so paper calendars. So page a day is WORKMAN. They invented the page a day, which I'm obsessed with page a day calendars. I just think they're so smart. So anyway, they approached me and they wanted to get into the planner market. So we worked together in 2018 to create a 10-book collection in 2018, which was bananas. And basically that looked like me flying to New York. Up until then, I'd kind of worked in a vacuum. Nathan and I started with working out of the cottage behind our house, interviewed people in our backyard while our kids were running around naked. It was all very very slapdash and family run. And I went to meet WORKMAN in New York, on the 20th floor overlooking the Hudson, and had this huge business meeting with, loads and loads of people on their team. Gave them all of my ideas. We fleshed out the plan for a huge 10-book collection that would go to print 4 months later. And they pretty much turned around and said, great, well, we'll expect first designs, 3 weeks from now. And I realized that I was, a one-person design team and had to pull all of this out. So that 10-book collection is single-handedly responsible for lots of my gray hair. But what it did was really shift my focus. So after doing that, I realized that, okay, we're not just a brand that curates things. We can put a lot of amazing content and ideas into the marketplace and move forward with that. So we launched this collection. It was sold, in retailers across the country. We went on to launch other collections with them in the planner space. And now we continue to have lots of sticker books with them that are doing very well. One of the things that I realized. Oh, yes.
Good question. So on your last slide, you didn't mention the list of stores you were in. Those retailers are pretty amazing. I mean, those are huge retail outlets.
Yes.
Did WORKMAN take care of getting you into those stores? Oh, so you didn't have, so they were your intermediary for that. You didn't
exactly, which is why we ended up doing a joint venture with WORKMAN, which they'd never actually done before. But basically we brought all of the creative power. I brought at the beginning, and then eventually my team and I brought all the creative power. So delivered all the designs, did all the specs, and then they did everything from on the manufacturing, sales, distribution side, which was great because I had no idea how to do any of that. So, they worked with all of our manufacturers, all the sourcing, and then getting it out into the market. So I did nothing. Sorry.
Right. No worries. So was it a licensing type agreement, or was it?
It wasn't. It wasn't I mean, it's kind of similar to a licensing agreement now when you look at it. That's the closest thing, but it was actually a joint venture. So we split things right down the middle, which was good and bad. We've had years, of course. The challenge with planner products is that they're dated. So when they don't sell, you eat the cost and you have to destroy them. Also, lots of the big, all of these big retailers have a buyback clause with all dated products. So if they're not selling something by a certain time, they can sell it back to WORKMAN and we have to eat it. So for instance, on, the year of 2020, when all of our planners went out, I mean, we sold no planners because nobody was interested in having a planner and in 2020. So
well, that's hilarious. I mean, that is so interesting on social, observation of social behavior, right? So I'm guessing everyone's like, well, I'm just going to be home tomorrow and the day after and the day after. So I don't really need a planner.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because, the diehard planner addicts, that I was talking about before, they use their planner very much as a creative outlet. And so they kind of shifted from using it as a planner to using it as a memory keeper or a journal or whatever. But that's only a very, very small number of people. So because it was a joint venture, if it had been a royalty or a licensing model, then we would have been paid anyway. But because it was a joint venture, we profited when we did well and we took a hit when we did not do well.
Okay.
So I think we're looking to move to a royalty model with WORKMAN moving forward.
Okay. So you're still in a business relationship with WORKMAN?
We are. In fact, we've since shifted to creating all of our own products, which I'll get more into now. But since we've done that, we've really narrowed what we're doing with them, because now that we can produce all of this on our own and we are starting to get a wider distribution channel on our own, we don't really need WORKMAN. And frankly, they've made, some business decisions that maybe we wouldn't have made. And so, I think, again, it doesn't make as much sense for us to work with a joint venture. But it does absolutely make sense to work on a few products that are doing well. We have a product called So Many Stickers Book, and that has launched into a line of So Many Planner Stickers Book and a So Many Letters Stickers Book and a So Many Feeling Stickers Book. So this is a line that we're really expanding with them. And they've sold about 250,000 copies of all of these books. So that definitely makes sense for us to continue to pursue. But yeah, so that's where we are with WORKMAN.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. So the one thing that we realized in working with WORKMAN, when we worked with WORKMAN, we delivered our designs and then they would have to sell them into the buyer, right? Which is hugely frustrating when you're used to working directly with the customer, because we know what a customer wants. A customer wants a 12-month planner, but a buyer wants an 18-month planner because that allows them, or that gives them less risk in purchasing it and keeping it merchandised. So those sorts of things made us realize kind of the advantage we had by having such a direct line to our customer base. And so in doing that, we identified, right, for our subscription sticker club, we're producing, and actually it's more than 30 now, we're producing 50 new sticker designs every month. So that's 50 new sticker sheets that we're designing every month. Because of that, it would let wholesalers, really switch up their merchandising and keep things really fresh. We're the only sticker company with a super wide range of diverse stickers. So we've made many, many years ago, we made the decision to really use our stickers and our platform to include diversity in skin colors, cultures, abilities. And more than that, we are regularly polling our customers. So we have a super active Facebook group, that we can pop into during our design process or before we actually put a product to market. So we'll say, hey guys, do you like these umbrellas in blue and green or in pink and red? And we will have hundreds of comments within minutes of posting, which is just like this immediate, amazing focus group. And so because of that, we're really able to determine trends, or I would say confirm trends that we suspect, and I think do a lot better in the market. So with all of this in mind, after working with WORKMAN, we decided to move into creating our own stickers for our subscription club. And then in 2019, we launched our wholesale program with the sticker inventory that we built up from, having them in our subscription club. So we had 4 categories that were doing very well in our subscription, and that's what we launched with. So we have our big puffy stickers, which are like, regular puffy stickers on steroids. They're enormous. They're incredible. I was like, working with our manufacturer, because stickers are our business, I'm constantly like, can we make them bigger? Can we make them sparklier? Can we make them puffier? So
I have to make a comment. Like every time you talk about some specific type of sticker thing, you're right. Like I'm having total childhood flashbacks. Like I totally remember those. And it used to collect them, and it was so fun to go in the store and select the ones you didn't have. And I mean, gosh, so fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the collectability, and I mean, I've thought a lot about what makes stickers so magical. And I think there's a few things. I think the idea of collectability is important. I think for kids, it is like a little piece of artwork, and it feels very precious and very special. And it's really cheap for that feeling. So it does kind of feel like this luxury item for $2.95, which is kind of amazing. So we rolled out this line of stickers for our wholesale in 2019, just at the end of 2019, and it was doing very, very well. We got our reps lined up, we got our racks lined up, people were reordering, it was great. And then of course the pandemic hit. So we went from, a really great trajectory to absolutely nothing over the course of the pandemic. And, like everyone, we shut down entirely. We had, luckily, the thing that really saved us at the beginning of the pandemic was up until the previous month, we had our staff and our fulfillment staff in our Monterey location, dealing out and assembling all of our sticker packs for our subscribers. 6 months in advance of March 2020, we had moved to having all of that done in China at our factory. So the first month that arrived was March 2020, where our packs arrived assembled, which, meant that we didn't have to have 8 people assembling sticker packs for a week, which really absolutely saved us, because then we could just have somebody come in and label them, back in the time when people weren't allowed to leave their house. So that was very lucky. So during the pandemic, we closed our brick and mortar shop permanently. It allowed us, by closing it during the pandemic, it allowed us to really understand that all of the time and effort that it takes to run a brick and mortar business, which is a completely different model and business than, e-commerce subscription, was just not worth the revenues that we were getting. Most of our wholesale accounts went to nothing. But luckily, as I said, we were diversified. So we really, we doubled down on our online efforts, and our online store sales went up. Our subscription went up. There was a period of time, I would say around, I think April, May 2020, when people really still didn't know their ass from their elbow in terms of what was happening. And Facebook ad prices went down. So we kind of took as much advantage of that as we could. Again, everything was still uncertain. Hindsight is 2020. And in retrospect, we should have bet the house on our Facebook ads, because, but we did get a bump to subscription that way. So our subscription club went up, and then our Facebook group membership just went up significantly. So people were online, they were eager to connect with the community, and they wanted more products from us. So because of that, they said, we love your stickers, but we want to see stationery and washi tape and other things. So we launched a new stationery line at that point, and we transitioned from only selling our wholesale via sales reps to going onto fair.com. So fair.com, if you're not familiar, is basically it's like a platform for wholesalers and retailers to connect, kind of like, Etsy or Amazon or anything. But basically a retailer, a shop owner can go on there and explore all kinds of sellers or wholesalers, and then bring it in, for their wholesale price, which I think sales reps were already, I would say, dying. I hate to say it. But this, the pandemic really, I would say, boosted the trajectory of fair.com and other online sales platforms for wholesale. And so we really that's when we got involved with that. The thing about stickers is they're beautiful and they're magical and they're happy. And again, I think during COVID, it was such a good thing for us, because we got so many letters from people. And, we've always gotten fan mail, but we got so many letters from people during the pandemic, just saying that, when the world was going to shit, they really depended on that happy, sparkly envelope that came in their mailbox every day or every month, and it got people through COVID, it got people through breakups, it got people through deaths in the family and chemo. And I mean, we've heard it all. And so, fundamentally, stickers make people happy. So after, or as, through the pandemic and as we're coming out of it, we really expanded our offering. So now every month we don't just do stickers, we do a whole collection of stationery that looks beautiful together. That includes stickers and stationery and notepads and, all the things. And so we're producing about 50 SKUs a month, which is bananas. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but that's where we are.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. We're working on our summer or our fall print catalog, and it's just
so let's talk about that. I mean, obviously it's not like, oh, we just finished this month, let's plan for next month, right? So you're planning, do you plan the entire year ahead of time?
No, we do one month at a time.
Okay.
Which,
so hang on, Mo, how many people are on your design team? Because this sounds insane to me. Like, I don't know if people realize the insanity of 50 SKUs, new SKUs per month. That's
right. And it's sticker. So if you think about it, every sticker sheet has, I would say, 8 to 10 illustrations, which an illustration, like a normal size illustration shrunk down to 1 inch by 1 inch, the same amount of work goes into the illustration. So we're doing hundreds and hundreds of illustrations every month. And then putting it across all of our stationery. So right now, I'm currently hiring for a design lead, but we have, I would say, 4 full-time designers, 2 full-time designers and 2 full-time production designers. Yeah.
Wow.
But I think, for us to run well in advance and in an organized manner, I think we probably need to, multiply that by a factor, I think. And I see it just getting bigger and bigger, because the thing that's interesting is, we really leaned into our online community and during COVID, and we now have a real cult following. And we don't have nobody is doing stickers like we are in terms of the quality and kind of the precision and the specialness of our stickers. So, it's tricky because we've backed into this model of creating 50 SKUs a month purely because we have the subscription club. And, Nathan is saying regularly, can't we just repeat some of the designs we've done before? And we could start to do that, but there is such an obsession of long-term veteran subscribers, that I think were we to do that, we'd have a bit of a revolt on our hand. So, again, as we navigate, and this is of course a super big challenge that we're constantly facing, is, it's great to be diversified, but it really muddies the water when you're thinking about priorities and, who you're doing it for, right? Yeah. Who you're doing it for.
And so let me ask you this, I can't resist. So originally you're a designer, so are you still involved in actually on the creative side? I mean, how, as a CEO of a, pretty large enterprise at this point, do you have time to do that? And if you don't, are you bummed that you can't be involved?
Yeah, I am. I mean, Nathan handles all of the finances, operations, and that side of the business. So we like to keep it so that I get to keep as much fun stuff as I can, which thank goodness I have him. He's incredible. And, we absolutely wouldn't be here without him and all that he's allowed, or he can do on that side of things. So I can stay on the creative side of things. Mm-hmm. So yes, I'm still the creative director. I'm still, every month before stickers go to print, or I'm still the one determining what stickers we're doing, what the illustration should look like. And then at the end, when they all come together, I'm spending probably about a day, doing that last 10% of color tweaking and really making it even better. And I think one thing that has given us a huge advantage, and I think will continually give us a huge advantage as more competitors come in, is I am a sticker lover, right? And I will not make a sticker that I don't want in my own collection. So, is that the best thing for the bottom line all the time? Probably not. Absolutely not, but I'm never going to put something out at 50%, because it's just, I don't want to do it. So because of that, I think, across all the products that we make, it makes for just a very, very, beautiful line that has a level of attention to detail that you can't find with any other stationery. So, you know, I would say one of the proudest moments in the last couple years has been, we were featured in in an article in Glamour magazine, and I was quoted by Glamour. So if my 9-year-old self had known, you know, that I would be the boss of a sticker company and quoted in Glamour magazine, I definitely would have wet my pants. Yeah. So, but basically this article talked about, you know, just how much stickers are coming back. You know, the 90s are back. Stickers are here again, and, you know, from all ages, and this really focused on adults, right? But adults are leaning into stickers as they say, affordable splurges, right? And while everybody realizes this, right? If we look at big brands who are not in stickers, right? Glossier is not in the sticker industry. They're in the cosmetic industry, but they're using stickers in their packaging and, you know, in their marketing, because stickers are hot, right? Stickers are super hot. And one thing that I read recently, which totally makes sense, is that, you know, in this time when the world is crazy and nobody knows what's going on, people are really leaning into nostalgia. So that's why, you know, there's all these reboots of all these shows and series, you know, on TV. And that's why Snoop Dogg was performing at, you know, in the Super Bowl. It's because we want nostalgia. We want to feel safe. We want to remember the times when we were happy and things were normal. And so I think that also is one of the reasons that stickers are doing so well right now.
You know, it's interesting. I have yet to see a package that my teenage daughters, and they're, you know, late teens.
Yeah.
If they order anything online, it comes with stickers. You know, like Jolene bathing suits. You know, those brands that they love. They always come with super cool stickers. Yeah,
I know.
so true.
I know. It's pretty. I mean, it's super fun.
Yeah.
And you know, again, I think we've landed in this place where people are really defining themselves. They're looking for any way to tell the world who they are. And so stickers are an easy go-to accessory, right? They're cheap. You can make a sticker out of anything. I mean, that's the real joy, is we have, you know, 1,500 sticker sheet designs at this point that I've done. And you know, it's incredible. It's endless. You could do a sticker of anything, you know, which makes them really fun and really personal. And I think that makes for this moment in time when stickers and what we're doing really aligns with people's values and what people want from the world. So again, stickers make people happier. And, you know, in general, as things get more complex in our lives, I think stickers offer just a level of simplicity, non-tech, you know, affordable. All of these things are great. And, you know, they're just fundamentally really, really fun. So that's where we are. That's Pipsticks. That's where we are. The big news that we have, which I think I told you, Judy, is our first product drops in Target. Our first Pipsticks product that I sold in drops in Target at the end of the month. So that's huge for us. And I hope it is, you know, it's a turning point and our foot in the door. You know, working with a big box retailer directly is a total beast in itself. And it's, you know, I mean, it's insane when you think about financing, and all of it is just nuts. But anyway, we're there. So we'll see. We'll see where we go from here.
It's really, really amazing. Well, I do want to open it up to Q&A. If there's anyone who wants to drop a question in the Q&A box, feel free to do so. Okay, one thing I want to touch on, because I know that's something that our attendees are always very interested in, is the marketing piece of it. So you mentioned, like, you wish you bought more Facebook ads. So very present on Facebook. Are there other platforms that work well for you? How do you leverage them? Do you post every single day? I mean, what's your strategy around that? Because everyone always has questions around that.
I know, and I wish I had better answers.
What's the
I would say
sauce?
we would not be where we are without Facebook ads, period. So I think, and I would say in terms of getting started on Facebook, the most important thing about getting started on Facebook is building your email list so that you can do lookalike targeting on Facebook. that was what got us started. So when we started on Facebook ads, we had a big enough mailing list that we could do a lookalike audience, right? And that broadened, the target audience of our Facebook ads. So that's where we really started. And I think that's where we've been successful.
No, what's the lookalike audience?
Sorry. A lookalike audience is where you upload your email list to Facebook, and Facebook says, okay, I mean, Facebook doesn't, there's all sorts of privacy information. But Facebook basically, once their emails are in, Facebook knows who those people are. So are they men? Are they women? What's their age group? What other things are they looking at? And then they take that information and says, okay, we can broaden this audience. So we can create a much bigger audience based on that look like people, like the people on email,
target market, basically,
like your target market. So if you have that email list to start, I think that is huge. And I would say, we wouldn't be where we are without Facebook ads. We also wouldn't be where we are without email marketing. So I think email marketing has been huge. And I think,
that's to your mailing list. Like that's
to our mailing list. So I would say, things that we're doing in marketing, even though I would say we haven't had the time to make a solid strategy, is Facebook ads have been going on forever. Nathan started it. It helps to have somebody who's very, very good at math when you launch your Facebook ad. So he started doing, managing our Facebook ads years ago. We've since tried a handful of marketing agencies to outsource the iterating and the management of Facebook ads to them, not the creative, not the copywriting, purely just the management of the ads, and have been horribly unsuccessful with everybody except the people that we're using right now. And even the people that we're using right now, they're good, but Nathan has had to really micromanage exactly what.
Why do you think is that? Because we've encountered actually the same, I've heard this so many times, and I have so many companies that I know that do have e-commerce going on and who are selling directly to consumers. And I've heard this story so many times with pretty large brands, other large brands that we work with. Yeah. Why do you think, why is that?
Because there's no incentive, because the incentive model is all wrong, right? You pay a retainer. And as long as you pay a retainer, and of course you pay a retainer and you pay, and a percentage of ad spend, but that doesn't mean anything, Right. I mean, yes, of course you're spending more, obviously, if you're doing well, but there's no direct correlation to the success of your ads with the payment terms. And so I think that is absolutely why it is.
Yeah. So it's not so much that they don't understand your target. It's not that they don't understand your brand per se.
It could be
part of it. Like, do you feel like sometimes some founders are, they just don't get it. Like they just don't understand who we are. They don't understand our culture, or
I think all of that is true, but I think fundamentally the problem is that they don't have any incentive to really understand it, because they're getting paid either way. So they know how to do what they do, and they can say anything that you want to hear to get you in as a customer. But when it comes down to it, they have other people that are going to pay them to do the same thing, right? So, and nobody is doing this well, right? Nobody is doing this well, which means there's no competition in the market. And they, I think they really don't have an incentive to get better people doing better work, because the financial incentive is not there for them, and there's nobody else doing it differently.
So what do you think? So this is a really interesting conversation.
Yeah.
What do you think would be a better incentive for them to have better results and better outcomes for their clients?
Well, I think better incentive for them. I think if we were in a model where there were enough people doing a performance-based payment, then they would feel compelled to do that as well. But there aren't people doing that. So, and we've had lots of conversations, or Nathan's had lots of conversations with business offering that, right? I'm happy to pay you more. I'm happy to pay you a lot more, percentage wise, if you want to work on a performance-based model.
They're just not accepting to go with that model.
Why would they? Because everybody, nobody is doing it, right? Why would they? I mean, they have all the leverage. These marketing agencies have all the leverage, and they're not really getting great results for anybody. So, they will tell you what they can do, which is probably better than a lot of people could do themselves or have the time or energy to do themselves, right? But I think fundamentally the financial model is broken.
Yeah.
And until
No,
that,
I was gonna say the system's broken. You took the words out of my mouth because
Yeah.
I can't, it's something that I hear repeatedly, like people just bring their marketing back in house because they're not getting the results they want.
Yeah, absolutely. But so we've done Facebook ads. As I said, we do all the creative and copywriting because anytime we've tried to outsource that, or even just, any element of it, it's just looked awful. And we are obviously a very design heavy brand. But we run our Facebook ads. We have Facebook groups, which have been very, very helpful for us. Again, they're kind of their own beast, but with that, we have 3 Facebook groups at the moment. One is a sticker and stationery swap group. So that was born out of the idea of, as kids, one of the best parts of sticker collecting was swapping stickers with other people. So people go in and it's very, very active. We have, I think, 6 or 7, 8,000 subs or members of that group who are constantly swapping stickers and stationery. We have a general sticker lovers group, which anybody can join. And then we have our VIP group for subscribers. So those are, I'm going in and doing a Facebook Live in that group every month or every week. And that those people feel like they are, really in the club. And I think that's one thing that we've done. And I want to explore how we can give that feeling of, okay, we're a club, this is your club, you can participate in this, how we can extend that beyond just our Facebook group, because I think that's where our strategic marketing is going to come in to make people feel like they're part of something with our sticker club.
What's your Facebook Live? Do you show your club members, your VIPs, how to do certain projects? Do you do projects with them, or what does that look like?
Actually, in terms of marketing and content, this is where I think there's a huge opportunity for us. I am always on the hunt for content creators because, again, the hard thing is we have a very specific design heavy brand. And so we need a level of, photography, stylist, content creation, and that has just been very hard to find. But up until this point, we do virtually no content around what you can actually do with our stickers.
Well, just say this could be a full-blown show. Like this could be like a YouTube channel, right?
No, absolutely. 100%. And if we had the people to do it, it relies on me doing it. So anything that, any content that is using stickers is me doing it, but it takes a ton of time, obviously, to do that. And so luckily in our Facebook group, all the members can show each other what they're doing. And while they're not, up to our standard for, photography or for being a brand representation or something we would use in our marketing, it's great because it still inspires everybody else. Yeah, it's fun. But we do that, again, we'll pull the groups. We'll say, okay, designing for Halloween, what are all of your Halloween ideas? And we get, 600-700 ideas of sticker sheets that people want, which is super fun. We'll do this or that. So in the design process, we'll say, okay, do you want this sticker sheet or that one? Or, so it's very engaged that way. But I will say it's to the point where people are so diehard about things that if something goes wrong, it can spiral out of control pretty quickly. So we have moderators that are subscribers and kind of super users that moderate, and that has been game changing. It's been amazing. I think you have to focus on one thing and be consistent about it. So, we didn't really drill into the Facebook group until we knew that we could be in there with moderators doing things consistently. And same with the email, email campaign. I write a weekly email newsletter that goes out and it's got like a 42% open rate. It's insane. It's insane. Ooh, sorry. 1 second. Sorry about that. Landline. I don't think I've heard that landline ring in a long time.
It's like, what is that?
I know. But so I send out our weekly email blasts on Friday. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I send out our weekly email blasts on Fridays. And then obviously we do a lot of email marketing around that. So we probably send 3 to 5 emails a week,
Yeah,
depending
that's
on.
my next question. I was going to say, how often do you reach out to your audience, and what's too much?
Yep.
Yeah.
We send about 3 to 5 emails a week. Some of those are like previews on what's coming in our sticker pack. So people can decide to sign up or, skip a month or whatever. As I said, I do my weekly email. And the thing that's been really successful about that is I just do a little blurb, and that blurb is very much about me. I mean, the benefit is I am a face of the brand, and the brand is very much an extension of me. So I can write whatever I want, about what the kids did that morning, or what I'm inspired by, or whatever. And I keep, I have a general theme that that aligns with the brand. But it's just a paragraph or two. And then I link to 3 fun things that I found around the internet, which I think is the best way to get started with a newsletter, because it takes the pressure off of content. And it allows you to really build your brand easily using other people's content, which is amazing and very fast.
Those links, I've noticed that's really important. So I'll ask you a question that's in the chat in a second, but I've noticed, so for example, I subscribe to Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
But sure enough, every Friday I'm like, I wonder what he recommended this week. And I think that's a big part of why that email gets open, because he's going to recommend 3 things. And 1 time out of 4, he recommends a book, or I want to read that book. So, and sure enough, I buy that book.
I know, Tim
Right?
Ferriss. When you think about, his the affiliate dollars that Tim Ferriss has made on me alone is just kind of staggering. But yeah, agreed.
Right.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
that's what we have Lynn on the chat, who's asking, what do you attribute your high open rate to? But I'm guessing that's one of the key factors, because I know that gets me every time.
Yeah. And I think it really comes down to people know what they're getting, right? So they know, being very clear in the subject line of what's inside. Is it a sale? Is it a sneak peek? Is it Fan Mail Friday, which we call our Friday things? So, and I think it's just, this is not new, but like authenticity. And honestly, I feel like I've kind of backed into authenticity, because I didn't have time to be anything but authentic. I didn't have time to plan things in advance, to write things in advance, to do anything. It's literally, and it's still, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be past this, but it's still very much oftentimes Thursday night or Friday morning, I'm writing my Friday email newsletter, which is, I know, not best practice, but that's where it is. But I think the benefit of that is it means that people feel like they know me and they know what's happening. And so I think also, if you have a brand where you can have a person with a signature at the bottom of the email, I think that does a lot. I mean, when we talk to our customers, they absolutely feel like they know me when they write in, to our customer service and that sort of thing. I mean, they are referencing things that I've said years ago. So, I mean, they feel close to me. They feel like they can trust me. And I think that's been just hugely integral in that. And again, this is not new, but giving them things, not just selling to them, giving them stuff that they want to read, and
that's the bottom line. That's the trick, right? You don't want to be sold to. You want to be engaged in a way where the content is stimulating, is interesting, and keep it real. Yeah. No, that's great. That's really cool. I think in your 3 bullets, do you make recommendations? Like, what do you have? Like, I'm going to share a song that I love. Like, you do the Tim Ferriss thing.
I just call it 3 fun things. It's called 3 fun things. There's a header that says 3 fun things. So it give me anything. I mean, usually I end up doing like an inspiring Instagram account, or a post from an Instagram account, some kind of thing to buy, like a cute pair of rainbow shoes or earrings or something. And then something to watch, whether it's like a video, a funny cat video, or, something interesting, a new art exhibit or something. I mean, it's really, again, the benefit of having it be kind of the brand be an extension of myself is it's just kind of whatever I think is cool.
That's awesome. Nice. And it just, again, it keeps it, that's what makes it authentic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for being so open and just really, I love how, you've made yourself very vulnerable. In the sense of sharing really all the ups and downs and how you go about your vision strategy. And then thank you for being so open. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. It's fun. It's, building a business is really hard. And honestly, if you ask me various questions, I'd probably forget, because I don't remember much of the last 7 years. So I'm glad, actually. It's funny. I was thinking the other day, both on our Fan Mail Friday email newsletters, and every month in our subscription packs, there's a little booklet, you know, newsletter that goes out, a little zine, and I write the introduction for it every month. And I thought, you know, thank goodness I have that, because, you know, I don't keep baby books. I don't keep journal, you know, like there's a lot of things, especially from a mom perspective, that I do not do, but, you know, at least I have these records, you know, from every month for the last, you know, 6 years.
You probably have a lot more than most moms, actually, at the end of the day.
I know. So anyway, that's the advantage, but we'll see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, to everyone on the call, you know, check out Mo's collections on her website, subscribe, get on the Facebook. It's so fun.
It makes the best gift. It's like the best gift, especially for grandparents. You know, it doesn't take up extra room, and it makes them think of you every month. I mean, it's super fun.
It's so cute. So cute. Well, thanks again. Great to catch up with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing
Good to see you, Judy.
And then we just have a couple quick slides to send to everyone. So we will share the recording on our website. There's always a link to all of these events and upcoming events. Talk about digital marketing. We have a search engine optimization workshop coming up March 16th. So that's a really fantastic workshop. Please don't miss it. If you're online, if you have an e-commerce type of business, this is a really insanely great workshop. Steve is amazing. And then, yes, taxes, they are due and they're coming up. So sign up for our QuickBooks tax reporting, March 29th. Damon, it's 3 hours, Zoom and in person. And Damon's amazing. He's QuickBooks certified. He's our budget analyst. He takes care of all our finances, and he's really fantastic at answering individual questions for people who actually attend in person the workshop. Next slide. I think that's it for us. So thank you so much. We'll have another coffee and conversation coming up in April. Everyone have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing day. Thank you for getting us started on such a great note, Mo. It's so great to have you.
Of course. So fun to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Take care. Bye.